Introduction. Imagine sitting across from a couple who have never earned more than an average salary, have no inheritance, and yet quietly own 2 homes outright, have 0 debt, and a retirement account so large they could stop working tomorrow. This isn't fiction, it's real. And it's exactly the story David Bach opens with in The Automatic Millionaire. Jim and Sue McIntyre, a middle-class couple, reveal the astonishing truth that becoming wealthy doesn't require a 6-figure income, a lottery win, or even a strict budget. It just requires a plan, and more importantly, a system that runs on autopilot. The premise of the book is simple yet revolutionary. You don't need to be rich to get rich. What you need is to pay yourself first, and do it automatically. Bach believes the key to lasting wealth isn't discipline or intelligence, it's automation. If you can remove human error, procrastination, and emotion from your financial decisions, then success becomes inevitable. In a world where most people live paycheck to paycheck, The Automatic Millionaire proposes a peaceful alternative, a life of freedom, control, and long-term security. This book isn't about budgeting every penny or depriving yourself. It's about putting your money on autopilot so you can live your life, enjoy your coffee, and still retire wealthy. The journey begins now, not with a budget, but with a decision. A decision to let your money work harder for you, automatically. Are you ready? Chapter 1: Meeting the Automatic Millionaire. This journey begins not with theory, but with a real conversation, one that challenges long-held assumptions about wealth. In a modest office, the author meets Jim and Sue McIntyre, a couple in their early 50s. Their appearance is unassuming. Jim is a mid-level manager at a utility company. Sue works part-time at a local salon. On paper, nothing about them screams wealthy. Yet, they own 2 homes, one of which is a vacation property, have no debt, and have built a 7-figure retirement portfolio. What's striking isn't just their success, it's how ordinary their lives seem. No extravagant salaries. No inheritance. No financial windfall. Just consistency, discipline, and most of all, automation. As they explain their story, it becomes clear that their wealth wasn't built on risky investments or grueling side hustles. It was built on a simple idea: pay yourself first and make it automatic. That phrase, pay yourself first, became the cornerstone of the McIntyres' financial philosophy. Before they paid any bills or spent a dime, a portion of every paycheck was automatically directed to savings and investment accounts. They didn't think about it. They didn't rely on willpower. The money just moved, like clockwork. David Bach is quick to highlight a common misconception. Most people think becoming rich requires budgeting every penny, cutting back on every luxury, and living a rigid, joyless life. But as Jim and Sue demonstrate, true financial freedom is built differently. They didn't track every dollar. They didn't constantly stress over money. Instead, they created a system that made the right decisions for them in the background. The beauty of automation is that it removes human error. We're emotional. We procrastinate. We make excuses. But a properly set up financial system doesn't care about your mood, your distractions, or your intentions. It just works. Jim and Sue also reveal another key point: they started early. Time, combined with consistency, is the most powerful force in building wealth. Their small, regular contributions had decades to grow, thanks to the power of compound interest. But what if you didn't start early? What if you're starting now, later in life? Bach reassures readers that the point is not to look back with regret, but to move forward with intention. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now. As this chapter closes, a seed is planted. If an average couple with average incomes can become millionaires, why not you? The principles aren't hidden. The tools aren't exotic. What's needed is a shift in mindset and a willingness to trust a system that's already proven to work. This is not a story about luck. It's a blueprint, one that anyone, at any stage of life, can choose to follow. And that choice, when made and automated, could quietly change everything. Chapter 2: The Latte Factor. Becoming aware of where your money goes. Chapter 2 introduces one of the most talked about concepts in David Bach's personal finance philosophy, the latte factor. It's a simple yet powerful idea that illustrates how small, habitual expenses, often overlooked, can silently rob us of financial freedom over time. The story begins with a young woman named Zoe, a 20-something professional living paycheck to paycheck. She believes she simply doesn't earn enough to save, and like many people, she thinks wealth is out of reach unless you're already rich. David Bach challenges that belief by asking her to track her daily expenses, especially the little things. As she adds them up, a pattern emerges: coffee on the way to work, a muffin, lunch out, bottled water, snacks, and more. None of these expenses seem outrageous in isolation. But together? They total around $10 to $15 a day. Over a month, that's over $300. Over a year, more than $3,000. And over decades, when invested and compounded, it could easily exceed hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the latte factor. It's not just about coffee. It's about mindful spending and unconscious habits. We often claim we can't save or invest, yet we unknowingly funnel money toward conveniences, cravings, and indulgences that offer fleeting satisfaction but no long-term gain. Bach emphasizes that the goal isn't to deprive yourself or live miserably frugal. It's about awareness and intentionality. Are your daily spending habits aligned with your goals? Are you unconsciously sacrificing your future for short-term comfort? To hammer home the point, he walks readers through a simple math example. If Zoe took just $5 a day and invested it at a 10% annual return, in 40 years she could have over $948,000. That's nearly $1 million, born from nothing more than redirecting money she already spends without thinking. But again, the latte factor is not about guilt. It's about empowerment. Bach invites readers to find their own version of the latte factor. Maybe it's a gym membership that goes unused, or premium cable channels you never watch, or ride shares instead of public transport. Whatever it is, uncovering it can open the door to significant savings without drastic lifestyle changes. The deeper truth in this chapter is that we already have the money we need to build wealth. We're just not using it wisely. It's not always about earning more. Often, it's about doing more with what you already have. Bach encourages readers to begin noticing where their money flows. Not to judge it, but to learn from it. And in that process of awareness, we gain the power to shift the narrative. Because becoming rich isn't about luck or big windfalls. It's about small, smart choices made consistently. And that choice begins the moment we decide to see differently. Chapter 3: Learn to Pay Yourself First, the One-Step Wealth Plan. If there's one idea at the very core of the Automatic Millionaire, it is this: pay yourself first. In Chapter 3, David Bach describes this simple principle as the ultimate secret to building wealth. And while the phrase may sound familiar, Bach insists that most people misunderstand it, or fail to implement it correctly. Let's start with the basic concept. Paying yourself first means that before you pay any bills, before you buy groceries, before you spend a dime on anything, you automatically set aside a portion of your income to invest in your future. Not save, invest. And not when you have money left over, but right away, before your money gets a chance to disappear. Why does this matter so much? Because as humans, we tend to spend whatever we have access to. If the money sits in your checking account, it's likely to be spent, intentionally or not. But when you automate your savings and investments, the decision to build wealth is made once and enforced every time your paycheck lands. Bach makes it clear: you don't need a budget. You don't need to track every dollar. What you need is one smart move: automated. To bring this idea to life, he shares the story of a couple, Jim and Sue McIntyre, who never earned six-figure salaries but still managed to retire as millionaires in their early 50s. Their secret? They paid themselves first. For decades, they directed 10% of their income into retirement accounts, automatically. No debates, no delays, no excuses. Just consistency. Jim and Sue weren't investment experts. They didn't obsess over the stock market. They simply trusted the process and let time and compound interest do the work. Bach stresses that how much you earn doesn't matter nearly as much as what you do with it. Whether you make $40,000 or $140,000 a year, paying yourself first makes wealth building inevitable. So how do you do it? Here's the breakdown. 1. Decide on a percentage of your income to invest. Start with 10% if you can, or even 5% if that feels more manageable. 2. Automate it. Set up a direct transfer from your paycheck or checking account into a tax-advantaged retirement account like a 401k, IRA, or Roth IRA. 3. Do it before you pay anyone else. Not at the end of the month, at the very beginning. 4. Don't stop. Keep the system running whether the market is up or down. Wealth isn't built in bursts, it's built in decades. One of the most powerful messages in this chapter is this: you don't need willpower if you use automation. When your savings are automatic, they become invisible and painless. You don't miss what you never see. And over time, these invisible deposits grow into visible wealth. Bach also addresses a common concern. What if I'm already living paycheck to paycheck? His advice is gentle but firm: start small. Even $2 a day is a beginning. The amount is less important than the habit. Once you begin, the progress fuels itself. To cement this lesson, he offers a challenge: call your HR department today and set up automatic contributions to your retirement plan. Or open an online investment account and schedule a weekly auto transfer. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. The truth is, the world rewards those who act. And paying yourself first is one of the boldest financial acts you can make, not because it's flashy, but because it's consistent. And consistency is what builds empires. What comes next? It's not just about setting the money aside, it's about making it grow automatically. Chapter 4: Now Make It Automatic: The Power of Systems Over Willpower. David Bach believes that the difference between financial success and struggle doesn't lie in intelligence, income, or even good intentions. It lies in systems. In Chapter 4, he emphasizes that wealth isn't just about what you do, it's about what you set up to happen automatically. You see, most people try to save money with good intentions. They make mental promises to themselves like, "I'll save whatever's left at the end of the month," or "I'll be more disciplined next payday." But discipline, Bach argues, is unreliable. Life gets in the way. Emergencies pop up. Desires shift. And before you know it, nothing gets saved or invested. That's why the most financially secure people don't rely on discipline, they rely on automation. Bach calls this principle the Automatic Millionaire system. It's a step-by-step approach to turning your financial life into a machine that runs on autopilot. Once it's set up, your path to wealth continues moving forward, no matter how distracted, busy, or emotional you get. So what should be automated? First, automate your retirement savings. If your employer offers a 401k plan, sign up and choose to have contributions deducted automatically from your paycheck. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now. Even if it's 1%, you can build up from there. If you don't have access to a 401k, set up automatic contributions to an IRA or Roth IRA. The key is consistency. Second, automate additional investments. This could be a brokerage account, mutual funds, or index funds. Bach recommends choosing investments with low fees and high long-term reliability, like index funds that track the S&P 500. Most brokerage platforms let you set up automatic deposits on a monthly or weekly basis. Do it once, and let the system do the rest. Third, automate your bill payments. While the main focus of the book is building wealth, Bach understands that eliminating financial stress is a part of the journey. Late fees, missed payments, and debt spirals derail even the best plans. Set up your fixed bills, mortgage, rent, utilities, insurance, to be paid automatically. You'll save time, avoid penalties, and maintain peace of mind. Fourth, automate your emergency savings. Bach recommends having a separate savings account that's harder to access, maybe even at a different bank, to stash away 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Set up small, regular automatic transfers, just like you would for investing. Why is all this automation so powerful? Because it removes you from the process. You no longer have to debate whether to save, how much to invest, or when to transfer money. The decision is made once. The behavior happens forever. And here's the surprising truth: most millionaires don't think about money every day. They don't obsess over spreadsheets or spend hours researching the stock market. Instead, they set up smart systems that work in the background, and then go live their lives. Bach even says automation can be fun. Every time money moves automatically into your investment account, it's like giving your future self a secret gift. Month by month, your financial foundation grows. And as the months become years, compound interest begins to work its magic. You don't see it every day, but it's always happening. There's also a psychological benefit. Automation reduces anxiety. It turns a vague hope, "I wish I could retire someday," into a concrete plan. "I am retiring a little more every day." And here's a final thought from Bach: it's better to be consistently good than occasionally perfect. Even if your contributions are small, the fact that they happen regularly makes all the difference. By automating your money, you're not just managing your finances. You're taking control of your future, with confidence, clarity, and calm. Chapter 5: Automate for a Rainy Day. Life is unpredictable. Even the most well-structured financial plans can be derailed by the unexpected: medical emergencies, car breakdowns, job loss, or home repairs. That's why this chapter emphasizes the vital need for an emergency fund, a financial safety net that protects you from being thrown off course when life happens. David Bach refers to this as preparing for a rainy day, and his message is clear: don't just save, automate it. Bach begins by illustrating how many Americans live paycheck to paycheck, not because they don't earn enough, but because they lack a margin of safety. When emergencies arise, they turn to credit cards, loans, or retirement accounts, digging themselves into deeper financial holes. An emergency fund helps break this cycle, offering freedom and peace of mind. The recommended target for an emergency fund is 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses, though even a smaller cushion is better than none. Bach suggests starting with as little as $500 to $1,000, and building up gradually over time. The key is consistency, not the amount. If you wait until you feel ready or until there's extra money, it may never happen. That's why the solution, once again, is to automate. Automation removes the decision-making and discipline from the equation. By setting up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a separate savings or money market account, you ensure the habit sticks. It becomes just another regular bill, except this one pays you. Bach recommends timing the transfer to coincide with your payday, making it invisible and painless. Over time, these small, automatic deposits accumulate, creating a buffer that safeguards your long-term financial plan. To make it even more effective, Bach encourages you to place the emergency savings in an account that is easy to access in case of need, but not too easy to tap into for non-emergencies. A high-yield savings account or a money market fund works well. Some people may even choose to store their emergency fund at a separate bank, limiting temptation. The point is to mentally and physically separate this money from everyday funds. What's important to note is that this fund is not an investment. It's not designed to earn big returns, it's designed to be there when you need it. That distinction helps people understand that emergency savings are part of a broader wealth-building strategy. Without them, even the most well-funded retirement account can be prematurely drained in a crisis, undoing years of progress. Bach also addresses the emotional benefits of having this safety net. It reduces anxiety, increases confidence, and shifts your mindset from survival to stability. Knowing you have a buffer allows you to make clearer decisions, take calculated risks, and avoid the financial panic that often drives poor choices. He shares inspiring stories of individuals who began with modest means but prioritized building their emergency fund. The common thread among them? They didn't wait. They acted, automated, and built their safety net over time. None of them were lucky, they were simply consistent. In wrapping up this chapter, Bach reinforces the core idea: building wealth isn't just about offense, making and investing money, it's also about defense, protecting what you have. A rainy day will come. When it does, your financial umbrella, your emergency fund, will keep you from getting soaked. And the best part? Once it's automated, you don't have to think about it again. The system takes care of the rest, and that's the true beauty of being an automatic millionaire. Chapter 6: Automatic Debt-Free Homeownership. Owning a home is often considered a hallmark of financial success, a cornerstone of the American dream. But in The Automatic Millionaire, David Bach doesn't just encourage homeownership, he advocates for smart, automated, and accelerated homeownership that can lead you to be debt-free years ahead of schedule. Bach begins by reinforcing a simple truth: your home is one of the most powerful financial tools you'll ever own. It builds equity, appreciates over time, and provides long-term stability that renting cannot offer. But buying a home isn't enough. The true wealth lies in how you manage your mortgage. This chapter introduces a game-changing principle: paying off your mortgage early, automatically. While many people are content with the standard 30-year mortgage, Bach invites readers to challenge that norm. Why stay in debt for 3 decades if you could own your home outright in 25, 20, or even 15 years? The difference in interest savings can be staggering, often in the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. The first step, as always, is automation. Bach suggests setting up automatic extra payments toward your principal. Even a small amount, say, 1 extra monthly payment per year, can slash years off your mortgage. One practical way to do this is through biweekly mortgage payments. Instead of paying once per month, you pay half your monthly amount every 2 weeks. Over the course of a year, you make 26 half payments, which equals 13 full monthly payments, an entire extra month's worth of payments annually without even feeling the pinch. To demonstrate its effectiveness, Bach walks through a detailed example. On a $200,000 mortgage at a 6.5% interest rate, making biweekly payments instead of monthly ones could shave over 6 years off the mortgage and save more than $44,000 in interest. That's a tremendous return for a simple adjustment you'll hardly notice. But what about people who haven't bought a home yet? Bach offers straightforward guidance: buy less house than you can afford. Ignore the temptation to stretch your budget or max out your loan pre-approval. Instead, aim for a property that aligns with your real, practical needs, not your dreams or status. This conservative approach ensures that you're not house poor, where most of your income goes to housing costs, leaving you vulnerable in other areas of your finances. For current homeowners, Bach encourages contacting your lender to set up automatic biweekly payments, or to apply lump sum payments directly to the mortgage principal. If the lender doesn't offer such services, you can simulate the process manually or through your bank's automatic transfer tools. He also addresses a popular counterargument: shouldn't I invest that extra money instead of paying off my mortgage? While that may make mathematical sense in some scenarios, Bach argues that the psychological and emotional return of owning your home outright is often greater. It brings peace of mind, security, and a sense of freedom that's difficult to quantify. Moreover, debt-free homeownership gives you options: whether to retire earlier, whether a job loss, or simply live with less stress. And then there's the long-term payoff. Imagine entering retirement without a mortgage. The reduced monthly expenses significantly lower the income you'll need to live comfortably, making your savings and investments go further. Bach concludes the chapter with a familiar refrain: automate everything. Make your mortgage acceleration plan part of your overall wealth-building system. Once you set it up, it works quietly in the background, getting you closer to a debt-free life with every passing day. The home you live in can either be a 30-year burden or a powerful wealth machine. The choice, Bach insists, lies not in how much you earn, but in how deliberately and automatically you manage what you have. Chapter 7: Automatic Tithing. Make a difference while you make a living. In the journey to financial freedom, most conversations revolve around saving, investing, and cutting down expenses. But in Chapter 7, David Bach shifts the focus from accumulating wealth to sharing it with purpose. This chapter introduces the principle of automatic tithing, the practice of giving a portion of your income consistently and automatically to causes that matter to you. Bach begins with a profound truth: giving is part of being rich. In his view, financial success is incomplete without generosity. Many people postpone giving until they feel they've made it, believing they'll start donating once they're wealthy. But Bach argues that the habit of giving should begin now, regardless of your income level. The essence of tithing is to set aside at least 10% of your income for charitable giving. This concept, deeply rooted in many religious and cultural traditions, is not just about money, it's about developing a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. People who give consistently, Bach explains, often feel wealthier and more fulfilled, because they experience firsthand the impact their money can have on others' lives. But how do you ensure consistency in giving? The same way you build wealth, automatically. Bach recommends setting up recurring donations through your bank or payroll system, just like automatic savings or investment contributions. This removes the friction of decision-making and ensures that your commitment to give doesn't get lost in the chaos of monthly expenses or forgotten priorities. He illustrates this with stories of clients, some earning modest incomes, who began giving small amounts consistently and found that it didn't diminish their financial progress. In fact, many reported feeling more optimistic and motivated in other areas of their financial lives. Giving didn't delay their wealth, it accelerated it by shifting their mindset and priorities. An important point Bach makes is that tithing doesn't have to go exclusively to traditional charities or religious institutions. It can include community programs, educational scholarships, family in need, or even random acts of kindness. The goal is not the institution, it's the impact. Tithing also instills a sense of purpose in your financial journey. It turns money from a self-centered pursuit into a tool for collective upliftment. When you give, you become part of something larger than yourself. And this, according to Bach, is one of the most rewarding aspects of wealth. Bach does not ignore the concerns of those burdened with debt or tight budgets. His advice: start small but start now. Even giving $5 or $10 a week, consistently and automatically, begins to cultivate the habit. Over time, as your income grows, so can your contributions. He closes the chapter with a powerful reminder. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. In that spirit, true wealth is not measured solely by what we accumulate, but by the lives we touch along the way. Chapter 8. Make a difference with your money. David Bach continues the theme of purposeful wealth by emphasizing how money, when directed intentionally, can become a force for lasting impact. While previous chapters focused on building a solid financial foundation, this chapter broadens the reader's perspective, inviting them to look beyond their personal finances and consider the legacy they want to leave behind. Bach starts by reminding readers that accumulating wealth is not the end goal, it's what you do with your wealth that defines your true success. Too often, people think of financial freedom as a destination. Once the debt is paid off, the emergency fund is full, and the investments are growing, then life will feel complete. But according to Bach, the most fulfilled individuals are those who use their money to improve the lives of others. This chapter encourages readers to think about their values and passions. Do you care deeply about education, the environment, your local community, or global health? Bach suggests using your money, whether modest or substantial, to support causes that align with your beliefs. And the key is to be intentional about this impact. Just as you automate your savings and investments, you can also automate your giving, creating a system where generosity becomes a regular part of your financial life. One of the core messages in this chapter is that anyone can be a philanthropist. You don't need to be a millionaire to make a difference. Bach shares the story of everyday individuals who gave consistently over time, whether through monthly donations, volunteer work funded by their financial freedom, or even leaving behind planned gifts in their wills. These seemingly small acts, when practiced over years, have the power to create meaningful change. Bach also touches on the importance of financial education as a legacy. Helping others learn how to manage money, whether it's your children, family members, or your community, can be one of the most powerful ways to use your resources. Money that empowers others has a ripple effect, often extending far beyond what you can directly witness. He encourages readers to write a legacy letter, a short personal note outlining what they want to be remembered for, what values they hold most dear, and how they hope to use their resources to reflect those values. This exercise isn't just symbolic, it's a way of grounding your financial goals in something deeper than numbers. When your financial plan is tied to your legacy, it becomes more motivating and meaningful. In closing, Bach reminds readers that true wealth lies not just in what you accumulate, but in how you live and give. Money, when aligned with purpose, becomes more than a tool for survival or luxury, it becomes a vessel for change. You don't need to be rich to make a difference. But if you're on the path to becoming financially free, why not use that freedom to lift others up along the way? Chapter 9: The Automatic Millionaire Roadmap. In this pivotal chapter, David Bach brings together all the principles shared throughout the book into a single, clear, actionable roadmap. It's not just a recap, but a structured guide that serves as a checklist for becoming an automatic millionaire. According to Bach, success in personal finance doesn't require brilliance or luck. It requires a simple, automatic system that runs consistently in the background of your life. The roadmap begins with the foundation: paying yourself first. This means prioritizing your own future before paying bills or making purchases. Whether it's 10% of your income or more, the idea is to make this process automatic through direct deposits into retirement accounts like a 401k, IRA, or other savings vehicles. The second stop on the roadmap is to eliminate debt, particularly high-interest consumer debt. Bach advises automating payments to credit cards, loans, and other debts in a way that steadily chips away at balances. The goal is to ensure you're not wasting wealth on interest payments, when that money could be working for you through investments. Next, Bach reinforces the importance of the latte factor, his signature concept of identifying small, unconscious daily expenditures that, over time, add up to a significant sum. He reminds readers that these small sacrifices, when redirected into savings or investments, can have a massive impact over years or decades. Even saving just $5 to $10 per day can result in hundreds of thousands of dollars in retirement. Another key piece of the roadmap is homeownership. Bach urges readers to own rather than rent and to automate mortgage payments. Over time, a paid-off home becomes not just a place to live, but a cornerstone of financial independence. He also emphasizes the value of making one extra payment a year, which can shave years off a mortgage and save thousands in interest. In addition, the roadmap includes automating contributions to emergency savings ***, typically equal to 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This account protects you from setbacks such as job loss, medical bills, or unexpected home repairs, ensuring your long-term plan remains intact. Bach then circles back to the idea of giving, which he sees as an integral part of living richly. Whether it's tithing, charitable giving, or simply helping loved ones, he recommends automating this as well. Doing so ensures that generosity is not left to chance but becomes a built-in part of your financial life. The roadmap concludes with a call to review and adjust periodically. Life changes, so should your financial systems. However, the beauty of automation is that once the system is in place, the required maintenance is minimal. Ultimately, Bach's roadmap is about designing a financial life that works without constant stress, decision fatigue, or active management. By setting up automated systems in every area, savings, investing, debt repayment, giving, you create a financial engine that runs even while you sleep. The destination? A life of financial freedom, security, and peace of mind, the true hallmarks of an automatic millionaire. Final chapter, a final word, now it's your turn. In this concluding chapter, David Bach shifts his focus directly to the reader with a heartfelt call to action. After laying out all the steps, tools, and principles of becoming an automatic millionaire, he reinforces the most critical truth: you already have what it takes, but only if you act. He starts by reiterating the central message of the book: it's not how much you earn, but what you do with what you earn that makes the difference. No matter your income, background, or education, the principles of paying yourself first, automating savings, eliminating debt, and living within your means can change your financial destiny. Bach passionately urges readers not to fall into the trap of procrastination. Knowledge without action, he says, is useless. The biggest obstacle to financial freedom is not lack of information, it's hesitation. Too many people read books, feel inspired, and then do nothing. He insists. Start today. Even small steps, opening an IRA, increasing your 401k contribution by 1%, or cutting one unnecessary expense, can begin a powerful chain reaction toward wealth. He also reminds the reader that automation is the great equalizer. You don't need to be great with numbers, have a finance degree, or track every penny to become rich. You just need to set it and forget it. Systems, not discipline, create lasting results. That's why the Automatic Millionaire plan doesn't rely on budgeting or willpower. It's based on creating smart systems that work silently in the background. Importantly, Bach brings the reader back to the human side of money. He shares stories of real people, teachers, nurses, factory workers, who followed this system and quietly built wealth. These aren't celebrities or high-powered executives. They are everyday individuals who made a decision, took simple steps, and allowed time and consistency to do the rest. He also highlights the importance of sharing this message. Becoming an automatic millionaire is not just about personal gain, it's a philosophy that can empower families, communities, and future generations. He encourages readers to teach their children these principles and to talk about money openly and positively with those they love. As the book closes, Bach leaves readers with an empowering reminder: your financial freedom is within reach. The tools are simple. The steps are clear. The only thing left is to do them, automatically. He concludes with a phrase that has become his trademark. Leave rich now. Not someday. Not when you retire. But today, because peace of mind, generosity, and a life free of financial fear are available to anyone willing to take action, one automatic step at a time. You've just finished The Automatic Millionaire, and by now, one thing should be clear: you don't need to be extraordinary to build extraordinary wealth. You just need a plan that works, and you need to start now. The most powerful financial transformations don't come from windfalls or luck. They come from small, consistent actions taken automatically over time. That's the secret of every quiet millionaire next door. You already have what it takes. The question is, will you take that first step today? Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait for the perfect time. The best time to secure your financial future is now. Start by paying yourself first. Automate your savings. Eliminate excuses. And as you grow, share this message with someone you care about. Because wealth isn't just for you, it's for your family, your community, your legacy. If this summary inspired you, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more life-changing book summaries. Drop a comment below. What step are you going to take today to become an automatic millionaire? Take control. Leave smart. Leave rich automatically.